Mountainer. I'm an abnormal psych, section 810. I did Kesha for my celebrity, and she has general anxiety disorder. So some things about general anxiety disorder, or it can be abbreviated. The symptoms can vary depending on the person and the severity of their disorder. It can range from just being stressed about certain things all the way to not being able to do specific things or go out of the house. It's affects everyone differently depending on what caused it and how severe it is in that person. So it's important to know things such as like the symptoms and everything and when to get help, and treatment and emergency help, which the main things for that is when it affects you to the point where it hinders everyday life and you can't do anything, get out of your house and do simple chores and everything, or when you're contemplating life. So it can be caused by a number of things from genetics to environmental influences, like how individuals are perceived in the public eye. Social media has a lot to do with anxiety these days, and the influences and everything that individuals are seeing on social media can worsen anxiety. Just trying to live up to those standards and everything. Um, and then having general anxiety disorder can be disabling and make people feel as if they can't do anything, depending on how bad it is. But if it is super severe, they will feel like they can't do anything or get out of the house or do simple things such as brushing their teeth or going out with friends. So in Kesha specifically, she has dealt with both general anxiety disorder and depression as well as disordered eating, caused by that for the last 10 or 15 years. It took her a while to come up with the strength to speak out about it and actually speak on it. A lot of that was because of the stigma around getting help and everything with mental health. And then also just being brave to speak up and everything and actually do something about it and accept that she was struggling with mental health. In her case specifically, it was caused by years of emotional and verbal abuse from her producer. She also had claimed that he had drugged her and raped her. So that had to do a lot with her anxiety and depression that she dealt with. She had already been writing songs at the time, but she changed her path kind of and started writing more about her struggles and everything so she could hopefully relate to others that hadn't spoke up yet and let them know that it's good and they need or they can get help too. One of the big things that she changed after accepting that she was dealing with general anxiety disorder, as well as depression, she changed the time she spent on social media and how she spent her time on it. She would see a lot of posts and comments on her posts, body shaming her and bullying, and then she would see a bunch of other things that she was just trying to live up to those standards and everything, which she recognized those do not help with her anxiety or depression, and they really just fed into it. So she would really just limit her time on social media and constantly take breaks and disable her account and everything, whatever she really needed to get to that, being able to like deal with it. And then she also thought her symptoms were normal at first. It took her a while to get used to it and accept that she was dealing with general anxiety disorder and that her symptoms and everything weren't normal or just something to be brushed off, especially because of the stigma around celebrities and getting help for mental health. And then the first two sites are peer-reviewed articles and journals that were used to find the definitions and everything and examples that were in the first couple slides about the symptoms and everything. And then the last one is the book that also spoke about general anxiety disorder. And so those are all included in the sources and everything, and then there were a bunch of different sources that were not listed that were used to look up everything about the celebrity.